Okay, welcome to another Games and Talk. I have some restyling and rebranding of my videos now. I'm gonna kind of like really, get to the nitty gritty a bit, but still talk about some fun stuff while we're watching these. I'm gonna do it in the list of Leon, Bayman, Hayate, Hitomi, Leifang, and Zack. I finally found out how to pronounce her name. I went and did some research because I didn't want it to be, arrogant or ignorant of how to say the Leifang name. And I found out the type of dress she wore, even though like I have a friend from Hong Kong who's from Hong Kong. She told me how to say it. I forgot that's what it was. I'm gonna attempt to say it, but I know it's gonna probably be wrong. But Ki Pao or Chung Sam or Cheon Sam is the type of dress that Westerners normally say is China dress or Chinese dress, but that's like the proper name for it. I know I pronounced it wrong, so I suggest that you go look it up. It's I always like that design. It's pretty cool. But anyway, let's get back to it. Now I'll do Leon. Leon always take me. I know, like, he seems like the most original. Well, not original, but original for a fighting game because he's look like he's based on Leon the Professional. Like whoever did the character design and stuff seemed like they really liked Leon the Professional and made him that character. He's a very strong character, slow movements, but he really packs a wallop. I did okay with him, but I'm not very good with that style of character because he is also a very like a counter style fighting. So he's not only is his attacks are offensive, but it's defensive as well. And it makes it pretty hard for me to play with him because I'm used to like speed and very offensive. That sounds horrible. But yeah, I love to go on the attack. I don't really like to defend unless if I'm playing with a character that I feel the flow of it. Like I keep going back to Steve Fox. He's that character. I don't think there's any answers in any other video games to Leon, like any other similar people that I could think of that I've personally played. Now there probably is. I didn't do too well with him. Well, I think I did okay, but I did get my butt handed to me. I'm just checking my timestamps. Let's see where I'm at. I'm 3 minutes in, so I think I'll go ahead and switch over. But yeah, so far, like I like Leon, but is not one of my favorite characters to play with. His partner is Bayman. He's from Germany, I believe. I think Leon is French. Bayman is from Germany. One thing I gotta say about Dead or Alive, I do like the fact that they add like the nationalities of characters. Also, Tekken does that, but they don't really let you know unless if they start talking. And Street Fighter lets you know, which I like. I like the whole world map where you be like, oh, that fighter's from there, and it kind of reminds you of like, oh, maybe one's from my home country or my home, place. I don't think there's a Trinidadian fighting character on any game, but hey, one could only dream. Bayman, there are characters that's like him on other games like Roletto on Street Fighter. I can't think of any other games that come to mind that is like him. He's also like Leon. They're both very calculated in their attacks, and he is more based on grappling. I didn't do too well with him either because, like I said, that's not my style of fighting either. I never was one for grappling, but I am trying to learn it. So, because what's funny is like when I play fighting games, I kind of play them based on what I've learned. So I kind of like embody that and use it in the game. That's why like Steve Fox is like because I like boxing characters, so I could play that, you know. Or Muay Thai fighters, I could kind of do that because I've done a little kickboxing, or Muay Thai because I've like read manuals and all kind of stuff. But anyway, I didn't do too good with Bayman either, but he was still a fun play. The next one I'll hop on, Hayate. Hayate is really cool. I was wrong the first time I recorded. I thought they didn't have another character like him, but actually, Dead or Alive was actually leading in that style of character. Or, actually I'm wrong, Capcom. They had Strider. Dead or Alive have Hayate, and then Tekken in the last place had Raven. And then they had Raven's master, I think. So they were kind of like lagging behind on that ninja style character. That I believe. I mean, they may have had someone else before. I mean, on Soul Calibur had Taki, I believe. But Hayate is a really cool character. I believe I covered in the first recording I did. Hayate has a split personality on Dead or Alive. He is Ian. He got amnesia from fighting Tengu in that DOA 2, and it was really like I'm gonna play those, but it was really like that one was really a very dramatic story, as I was trying to say. His partner is actually Ayane. I played these in a weird order because I was actually going like from right to left, then down left to right. I don't know why I did that order of playing, but I ended up towards the end, I started to kind of see. But I continued on that, but I'm trying to bunch together the last few characters in that manner. All right. Thing I want to say, a quick thing about DOA and games like this, or just games in general, is that these games are becoming extinct. Not the fact that they're making the new ones, but there's no need to remaster or make new copies of like DOA 2, 3, 4, you know, games like that. It's kind of like how sports are, you know, the sports games, they have like the 2000 this to 2000 that. They won't really need to remaster, but yet they may have a particular feature or person on it that they can't really transfer over to the new ones. Can't really speak on sports because I don't play many sports games, but I mean the features, for instance, there may be a legacy feature or the dynasty feature that they may not bring over to a next, you know, set. So it's kind of like with these games. I mean, they may do like a batch one, like Tekken did a batch one where they kind of like Tekken Tag. They put all the characters on there, but on Tekken 7, they put all the movies on there. So newcomers could enjoy the past games. So it's like, I think that's as far as some will go. Some even like take the old OSTs, do remaster them, and I love when they do stuff like that for certain games. But like I said, some of these games will become extinct in the manner of like, they just won't bring it out. People forget that they even had it. Like the OTG game I'm playing, people will forget about it unless if there are people like us that'll bring it back up, or like Jet Set Radio. You know, you may see an occasional character floating around, but people won't even know who they are. So I think it's up to us as gamers to really bring back the old games, because I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. They're nostalgic and I love them. All right. So sorry about going on that tangent. I'm going to the next character, Hitomi, which is also Ian's partner, but it's funny. I don't know if she actually plays with Hayate. I'll have to check, but her partner is actually Zack, which I find very strange. She's a karate fighter from Germany, I believe, on here. Sorry for any noise in the back. That's my dog. She wants to play. Hitomi's a pretty cool character. I like her because she's a very straightforward strike fighter because of the type of karate she uses. You know, karate is about strikes. And I mean, I can't say if it's very defensive. I mean, because I haven't actually practiced karate, so I wouldn't know. I mean, they do have like defensive movements, which I do see, but I know just like karate is like kind of based on sword fighting as well. But I mean, like I said, I'm not going to speak on it much because I don't have that knowledge. Somebody may be more adept to talking about it. But she's a really cool character. And to kind of reiterate, I think I did well with Hayate. I like his fighting style, and I did well with Hitomi. But through the game, I've gotten a bit better because it's like I was rusty. So obviously, I'm going to be really crappy and get my butt handed to me. And but I think I handled it well as I went on. I talked about the tier system in my last thingy, but like I said, I have to reiterate all of this because I decided to get rid of those last recordings. I didn't know about the tier system till later on in my gaming days, when they had the fighting circuits and all the stuff with the F rank all the way up to maybe a S, which is like OP. Obviously, you can tell who's the A class on these games. They don't really have a S class on DOA because they don't have the boss characters as a playable on this one. Because I would say like S class would be either like really like spamming people or like people that's just like overly strong. When I run into a S class, I'll show them on the channel. But Hitomi is a really cool character. I know I kind of talked a little bit about her, but she's a really cool character. Strikes are nice, power is nice. She has a nice speed. She would be one of my playable characters. So as well Hayate, because the speed. I love speed. So I'll move on to the next. Leifang. Or Leifang. Sorry. Leifang. That's how her name is pronounced. I mean, I may not be saying it right because she's an actual Chinese character. It's rare that you get characters that's actually from where they're supposed to be from, which is kind of strange. I know I'm saying it weird, but it's because it's like a lot of game developers want to research, but it's my bad for not noticing like how well they actually did research on a lot of this stuff. Because like I went and looked up a little bit of information about her, and they're actually pretty on point with their with their characters. They did research. They did character research. Not all games do that. A lot of people will just be like, oh yeah, they're from this place, and then they're doing stuff that's from another country. Because like in my last thing I said, I equated her to Chun-Li, but Chun-Li is actually from Hong Kong. But people won't really pay attention to it, or at least that's what I saw when I looked her up too. Like, Leifang is from China, Chun-Li is from Hong Kong, but I mean, that's the kind of hard thing about it because, Hong Kong was a property and it's kind of like in limbo right now with China. And then on top of that, a lot of Chinese natives moved to Hong Kong. So it's hard to really say, the accuracy in certain characters being from where they're from when it comes to situations like that. But Leifang, I enjoy her fighting style, but I have to be in the mood for it because she's a flow style fighting style, which is more like traditional Chinese martial arts, which is based on flowing and energy and transferring. So it's very like dancing and elegant, but yet could be deadly and have a powerful strike. But it's a hard martial arts because it's about timing as well. Because if you have a fighter that's gonna just bum rush you, which was the issue we had in the underground fighting circuit with the guy doing MMA on Wing Chun Masters, and he was beating them. I believe if you meet the right Wing Chun Master, he can maybe stand a chance, but it's a very hard thing to place a speed and strike fighter against one that's based on movements and prediction and flowing, because it's something that you would have to be good at. And I will go ahead and flip on that one. We're gonna go to Zack. Zack, One thing about Leifang before I go on, she is with Jen Lee, and Zack, I thought he was with Tina, but he's actually with Hitomi, which I covered earlier. It's really strange, that blend, but Zack is a cool Muay Thai fighter or kickboxing fighter. I think he's Muay Thai, and then his equivalent is Bruce in Tekken, but Bruce is actually a kickboxer. I think they said he's Muay Thai, but he's more like American kickboxing. You know, when they took it, they kind of made it their own thing. But Zack isn't a traditional Muay Thai fighter, but he is classified as that. He puts his own flair on it, which I do like about fighting games, that they make characters where they put their own flair. But I hate to bring this up. I don't know why they do that. Like with some of the black characters on games, Zack, for instance, he put his own flair on this. Sheen from, he's not technically black, but I mean, he looks black as he's Brazilian. From Street Fighter, he puts like basketball movements with Ken's style of karate. Or when I play Street Fighter again, I'll find out what type of martial arts they fight. But Zack is a pretty cool character. He's wild, but he gets all the money and the women. That lucky dude. So I guess that makes up for the fact that he's unconventional. But yeah, it's funny how some games like that, there's like it took a long strive for black characters to have a place in video games without being just generic. Because like a lot of around that time, like he reminds me too much of the black guy from Crazy Taxi. But I hated the picture they had for him. It was very, very weird looking. But I mean, like I said, with times came changes and people kind of woke up to the different image and see that there's all sorts to the world, and that's why I like fighting games. Fighting games show many people with different causes come into one place to fight for those causes, but some make friends, some make enemies, some get their goals, you know, and in life that's how it is. We all come from different walks, but we're all striving for something, and I mean that's what brings us together, that we're all striving for something, but hopefully we can come together to really, you know, do this, you know. I'm probably gonna end up having to like split the videos in two. I'll do a part 1 and a part 2. I know I'm saying it towards the end, but you'll kind of get the gist of it once you watch it. So with that being said, I guess that's it, you know. I don't have a proper send-off of wisdom, but hopefully I will in coming videos. So peace and love, and I hope you enjoy.